Hello, my name is Rick Boulay, and I'm the president of Killeen Educators Association and of Region 10 of the Texas State Teachers Association. I'd like to welcome you to our Killeen ISD School Board of Trustees Candidate Forum. I'm very pleased to be your moderator for today's discussion. Enshrined in the Constitution is one of the most important functions that we can perform: our ability to select the officials that make the decisions on how the district operates through our vote. It's through this process that we make our voices and wishes known as to how we wish the education of our children to ultimately proceed in Killeen ISD. The level of material support the district provides, the quality and condition of its facilities, the safety of its buses and equipment, how its educators and support professionals are compensated and treated in the workplace. All of these things and more are provided through the election of those serving on the Board of Trustees. We're here to have a conversation with those who are seeking positions on the board for places 6 and 7. Our goal is to learn more about their stances on positions that directly impact students and those who help make their education possible, how they think, and how they would approach the challenges that face KISD as we continue into the future. We encourage you to listen to their responses as many times as you need and give careful consideration to whom you wish to lead the district forward. Most of all, we highly encourage you to use your power to vote. A voice that remains silent is a voice that gives up control over its fate. We want you, the viewer, to know that the questions for tonight's conversation were selected in advance. All the questions will be put to all the candidates to answer so that you may make your own comparisons and draw your own conclusions. The Executive Board of Killeen Educators Association has not made any decisions regarding potential endorsements and will not make them prior to the conclusion and publishing of this forum in its entirety. And our last chunk of questions are some miscellaneous questions. This will start with Ms. Carter. How will you support site-based decision-making at the campus level for KISD school employees and parents?
How will I support it? I don't actually understand your question, because I support it. I like the idea of having the community involved, meaning the parents involved in it, with the teachers working and the administrators working side by side, as far as what they need to prove and what they need to prove upon in the campus.
How would you facilitate that? How would you,
Oh, well, I would hope that the school would go ahead and try to recruit parents to get involved. I would hope that they have staff that would go. I don't like the idea of people being appointed to positions. That's what my main thing is. I think that people should volunteer, and whoever volunteers should be a part of that committee. I don't like the appointment process because I think that lacks transparency. And I think that some people that would actually want to be a part of it are basically prohibited from being a part of a committee like that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Adams?
I've seen this done in other districts. I would push a teacher representative is elected, a parent representative is elected by a parent teacher organization or PTA. And then of course you have your administration, and you get a community volunteer. But that way we're not appointing, and I agree with not volunteering anyone. But if we allow some type of electoral process, then the representation is there. If following policy, I would even go visit some of them just hey, as a board member, I'm interested in what you're doing. And then if possible, I would push for some of the administrators. Hey, maybe we should go down and visit. I take it over. Maybe you should sit in just to let them know how important that process is. So if you show somebody how important something is, the more engaged they will be.
Thank you, Mr. Mills.
Yeah, the site-based decision is, that's a great avenue, and it's a great process to get stakeholders involved in the process of what's going on at our campuses and within the district. And so we've got to find a way to attract, the best minds that we can. And, as far as, having people appointed, I think we need to offer it to as many people as we can to get them in the room so that their voices can be heard directly from, the administrators at the campuses. And then that can get passed up, up the food chain. But again, it's a great process as far as getting involvement. We just want to make sure that we have representation for everybody. you know, and that their voices are being heard. And then we got to make sure that we follow through with what's being presented at these meetings, and making sure that the district is following through with the recommendations from parents and everybody else.
Thank you, Ms. Purser.
Well, site-based is absolutely important. You know, the problem with our community, it's so diverse, but even inside those campuses, the campuses themselves are so diverse and have different needs. So I think it's really important that they have a voice. So I would be very encouraging for that. I also believe the district should maintain standards. All of our campuses should have a standard that all the campus leadership understand, but then we have to make sure that we trust the leadership on each campus to be able to recruit the volunteers that help mold the decision-making that's going on in their campus level, because again, there's just so many different issues depending on where they are in our community, whether they're fighting the food desert issue, whether they're fighting the growth issue, roads falling apart, whatever it is, the no electricity. I mean, every campus has a different issue. So we just want to make sure that we let their voices be heard. But again, we must make sure that those volunteers feel like their voice is being heard, that they're being listened to. Sometimes decisions don't happen overnight. I think people have to be very patient about that, but make sure that that campus leadership brings to the table whatever those issues are, and that hopefully the school district supports whatever that site-based decision is.